Hello, gentlemen. I am Dr. Laura Bennett, a men's health specialist for those over 60. Today, I want to talk about something that many men keep hidden their entire lives yet think about every single night in silence. Masturbation after 60. Is it harmful? Or is it your body's way of reminding you that you are still alive? I have heard this question from so many of my patients. Men who were once strong, confident, full of vitality now sitting across from me feeling confused and ashamed that their bodies still crave intimacy. One 70-year-old man once told me, "Doctor, I do not know if something is wrong with me, but I just want to feel like a man again." That sentence stayed with me for a long time. Because it was not just about desire, it was about loneliness, fear, and the longing to feel alive once more. The truth is, modern science has proven that masturbation after 60 is not wrong. Research from Harvard in 2024 and the Mayo Clinic in 2023 shows that when done in moderation and with awareness, it can help maintain blood circulation, balance hormone levels, improve sleep quality, and protect prostate health. But there is another side to it. When overdone, it can quietly create emotional distance, dull your sensitivity, and even harm your mental health without you realizing it. That is why I'm here today, not to judge, not to shame, but to speak honestly about something that almost every man thinks about, yet few ever dare to ask. Together, we will explore 10 benefits, 10 potential risks, and most importantly, how to make this act a part of your health, not a symptom of loneliness. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you might start seeing your body in a completely new way, with more ease, more confidence, and a little more compassion. Before we dive deeper into today's topic, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that you still have desire, yet feel embarrassed or even guilty about it? I see this all the time in men over 60. They were once strong, the rock of their families, the ones who took care of everyone. But one day, they notice their bodies do not feel the same. And when that spark, that curiosity, that longing reappears, they blame themselves. They stay silent. They do not tell their wives, their friends, or even their doctors. And in that silence, the loneliness grows. I remember one of my patients, David, 70 years old. He sat across from me, his eyes hesitant, almost like a child's. He said, "Doctor, I do not know if something is wrong with me. I still have urges, but I feel ashamed to talk about it." I smiled and said, "No, David. Your body is telling you that you are still alive, still strong, still capable of feeling." And his eyes welled up, because for years he had believed that those natural feelings should be hidden. The truth is, desire does not disappear with age. It simply changes its form. A new study from Harvard in 2024 found that over 68% of men above 60 continue to have regular sexual needs, yet most of them never talk about it. Society has made them believe that at this age such things are inappropriate. That silence is what makes many men lose themselves. Some turn to masturbation as the only way to release pressure, but without understanding, without balance, and it becomes a burden instead of comfort. Others suppress it entirely, seeing it as shameful. In the end, they lose touch with intimacy itself, with their partners, and with their own bodies. So today, I want to break that wall of silence. No judgment, no blame, only honesty, understanding, and science. Together, we will look at the male body after 60, with respect, not shame. In the next section, I will share with you 10 real science-backed benefits of masturbation after 60, truths that modern medicine recognizes, but few people dare to say out loud. And once you truly understand your body, you will realize this is not something to be embarrassed about. It is part of your vitality, your balance, and your self-respect. Now let us be honest with each other. Many men believe that after 60, it is all over. That desire is just a memory of youth. But science tells a completely different story. The male body still has the ability to maintain strength, passion, and pleasure, as long as you know how to nurture it. And one of the most natural ways to do that is through masturbation, when done correctly, in moderation, and with understanding. I want you to see it not as something shameful, but as a gentle form of exercise for both your body and your mind. A way to remind yourself that you are still here, still feeling, still alive. Let us go through 10 benefits that science has proven, each one a reminder that when understood properly, this act can be a healthy and meaningful part of your later years. The first benefit: masturbation helps maintain penile and circulatory health. When you achieve an erection, blood flows strongly into the spongy tissues. It is like a light workout for your pelvic blood vessels. This keeps the tissues flexible and elastic, preventing fibrosis, which is one of the main causes of erectile dysfunction in older men. A Mayo Clinic study in 2023 found that men over 60 had better blood flow to the penis if they continued individual sexual activity at least 2 to 3 times per week. Just as regular walking keeps your legs strong, your sexual organs also need that gentle exercise to maintain function. The second benefit: it can help protect the prostate. Several large studies from Harvard and the National Institutes of Health found that men who ejaculated more frequently, around 21 times per month or more, had a 33% lower risk of prostate cancer. The reason is simple: ejaculation clears out old cells, fluid buildup, and bacteria from the prostate. In other words, masturbation acts as the body's natural cleansing system for the prostate. And at this age, that is extremely important. The third benefit: it relieves stress and calms the mind. During orgasm, your body releases dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, the so-called happiness hormones that reduce cortisol levels, lower blood pressure, and help you sleep better. One of my patients, Charles, 66 years old, used to struggle with insomnia despite taking medication. After adjusting his lifestyle and understanding his natural rhythm of release, he realized that each orgasm helped him fall asleep faster, wake up calmer, and even stabilize his morning blood pressure. Sometimes the key to a good night's sleep is not found in a pill, it is in reconnecting with your own body. The fourth benefit: it strengthens the pelvic floor muscles. Each orgasm contracts this muscle group, helping maintain bladder control and erectile strength. Similar to doing Kegel exercises, moderate masturbation naturally tones the pelvic floor, reducing the risk of incontinence or weak erections. The fifth benefit: it improves blood circulation in the pelvic area, enhancing the health of the bladder, prostate, and surrounding muscles. Better circulation prevents stagnation and reduces the feeling of heaviness or swelling that many older men experience after long periods of sitting. The sixth benefit: it helps men understand their own bodies better. When you make it a habit to listen to your body, you can detect early signs of trouble, such as swelling, pain, or a small lump in the testicle. In fact, many early cases of testicular cancer are discovered during self-examination, often by accident. That is why I call this act a silent health check, a simple, natural way to observe and care for yourself without any medical tools. The seventh benefit: it helps control premature ejaculation. By learning to recognize the body's signals, the point of no return, you gain control over timing. This technique is widely used by sex therapists for middle-aged men. It not only improves physical performance but also boosts confidence during intimacy with a partner. The eighth benefit: it keeps your sexual nervous system active and flexible. The brain is the most powerful sexual organ you have. Every time you imagine, stimulate, or experience pleasure, your brain sends signals down to your genitals. This process keeps the neural pathways strong and responsive. If there is no stimulation for a long time, those reflexes begin to weaken. That is why maintaining a healthy, balanced habit helps your brain remember what happiness and desire feel like, keeping both your body and mind alive. The ninth benefit: it boosts confidence. When your body still responds, when you still feel sensations, you realize that age does not define your worth. Many of my patients have told me, I feel younger again, like I have come back to life. And I always say yes, because when you reconnect with your body, you reconnect with the youth inside you. Not as a replacement for connection, but as a reminder that you can still feel, still care for yourself, and still love who you are. I have met widowed men or those living alone who used to feel hollow and detached. But when they began to see this act as a form of self-care instead of guilt, they found peace. Their minds became lighter, calmer, and more balanced. Still, I want to emphasize something important. Anything beyond moderation can backfire. When masturbation becomes an escape from loneliness or is done excessively, it starts to harm your mental health, your sleep, and your emotional balance in relationships. That is why in the next part I will discuss 10 risks and negative effects every man should know, so that you can continue this habit in a healthy, scientific, and self-respecting way. Remember, your body does not need to be perfect, it just needs to be understood, listened to, and treated with respect. We will continue this journey in the next part. We have just gone through 10 real science-backed benefits. But like everything in life, anything done beyond balance can turn harmful. Especially after 60, the human body becomes more sensitive both physically and emotionally. And masturbation, if not practiced in moderation, can lead to consequences that many men do not realize until it is too late. I do not tell you this to frighten you, but to help you understand and adjust. Because when you know both the bright and dark sides of something, you truly gain control over your body. The first risk: social isolation and emotional distance. When this habit becomes a secret refuge, replacing real intimacy, you slowly withdraw from relationships. Many men tell me they feel comfortable being alone, but over time they no longer desire closeness with their wives or anyone else. That is a sign of emotional disconnection. When emotions are separated from real life, the body begins to live mechanically. It reacts, but it no longer shares. The second risk: minor physical injuries you may not notice. Some men use too much pressure or do not use proper lubrication, causing tiny skin tears or mild infections. These small injuries, when repeated, can lead to inflammation, burning, or scarring. After 60, your skin and blood vessels lose elasticity, so even one rough motion can cause long-term damage. The third risk: decreased sensitivity and emotional numbness. The brain memorizes habits. When you always stimulate yourself in one specific way with the same rhythm, pressure, and method, your brain begins to respond only to that kind of stimulation. That is why some men say, "I can get an erection when I am alone, but not with my wife." This is not a disease, it is the brain being reprogrammed by repetitive behavior. The fourth risk: hiding underlying erectile or cardiovascular problems. If you can only get an erection while masturbating, but not with a partner, that might be an early warning sign of vascular disease, diabetes, or low testosterone. Many men ignore these changes, thinking, as long as it works, I am fine. But sometimes your body is trying to tell you something deeper. If you notice any major difference in sensation or performance, get checked. Every small change is your body's way of speaking to you. The fifth risk: nerve compression in the pelvic area. Some men masturbate while sitting hunched over or on hard chairs, putting pressure on the pudendal nerve. This can lead to numbness, pain, or reduced sensation in the genitals. If you ever feel tingling, heaviness, or temporary numbness, adjust your posture, lie down with a soft pillow under your lower back. Your body deserves more gentleness now than it did before. The sixth risk: using it as an escape from emotions. When masturbation becomes the only way to avoid sadness, stress, or loneliness, it stops being a healthy release and turns into emotional dependency. It is like drinking to forget or overeating to ease anxiety. It does not heal the emotion, it hides it. One of my patients, a 62-year-old man, told me, "I do not feel sad anymore because whenever I am tired, I just do it." But the truth was, he did not stop being sad, he only buried his sadness under habit. The seventh risk: lingering guilt or shame. In many cultures, especially in Asia, masturbation is still seen as wrong or immoral. Many men, even when they know it is natural, still feel guilty every time they do it. They do not talk about it to anyone, so the guilt grows, eating away at their confidence. I always tell my patients, there is nothing wrong with understanding your body. The only mistake is not listening to it. Guilt does not make you better, it only makes you suffer more. The 8th risk: pelvic congestion and heaviness. If you do it too frequently, multiple times per day, or without giving your body recovery time, blood can build up in the pelvic region, causing heaviness or dull pain around the testicles or lower abdomen. Some men mistake it for muscle soreness, but it is actually congestion. Remember, after 60, your body needs rest between sessions. Let things unfold slowly, gently, as a form of connection, not competition. The 9th risk: temporary decrease in sperm quality. If you are trying to conceive, ejaculating too often can temporarily lower sperm count. Fortunately, this is reversible. Taking a break of 2 to 5 days allows your body to recover naturally. Still, understanding your own physical rhythm is important. It helps you maintain balance between pleasure and reproductive health. The 10th risk: psychological effects from pornography. This might be the biggest problem in today's digital age. When your brain becomes used to intense, unrealistic stimulation from adult content, it slowly goes numb to real intimacy. Many men admit that they no longer feel aroused with their partners because their minds have been reshaped by online imagery. Remember, pornography does not reflect reality. It is designed to create addiction. You deserve real emotion, real touch, and real warmth, not a cold illusion on a screen. I want you to understand that there is nothing wrong with masturbation itself. The problem begins when it controls you. If it makes you lose confidence, grow distant from loved ones, or feel ashamed, that is when you need to stop, listen to your body, and make a change. But if it helps you relax, sleep better, and reconnect with yourself, then let it be part of your journey to live healthy, authentic, and free. Because at the end of the day, sexual health is nothing to be ashamed of. It is part of your dignity, your vitality, and your humanity. And when you learn how to balance it, you are not only protecting your body, you are also protecting your heart and your soul. I know that for many gentlemen watching this video, this is not just a medical topic. It is a quiet, inner struggle caught between the wish to live fully with your own emotions and the fear of being judged, misunderstood, or labeled as improper at this age. I once met a 74-year-old man named Raymond. He did not come to see me because of an illness. He came because of loneliness. He said, "I used to be a loving husband. After my wife passed away, I no longer had anyone to talk to. But every time I feel that my body still reacts, I feel guilty, as if I am betraying her memory." I looked at him and spoke softly. "No, Raymond. You are not betraying anyone. You are proving that you are still alive. And to be alive means to still be able to feel." He fell silent. Tears came. Perhaps it was the first time in years that he felt understood, accepted, and allowed to be a person, not just an old man. We are born with natural emotions: love, desire, curiosity, longing, and those do not disappear when you grow older. What often disappears is permission. Society tells older men to be quiet and to close off that part of themselves. I want to say the opposite. Your body still needs attention. It still needs touch. It still needs love. If you do not allow yourself to feel that, you are taking away a vital part of your own life. Science can tell us numbers, hormones, and physical benefits. But there are things that science cannot measure, like the feeling of being connected to yourself. When you understand your body, when you pause, listen, and accept it, you are not only caring for your physical health, you are also healing your heart. I have witnessed many men change simply by understanding themselves correctly. A man who once feared he was abnormal for still having desire at 70 now smiles and tells me, "I am not ashamed anymore, doctor. I know this is my body, and I know how to respect it." You see, when we truly understand ourselves, guilt fades away and peace takes its place. Masturbation at any age is not just a physical act. It is a way of speaking to your own body, a way of saying, "I am still here. I still feel. I am still alive." Sometimes simply recognizing that is enough to conquer loneliness. If you are hearing these words and feel a small movement inside, it may be because you have lived in silence for too long. From today on, you do not need to hide. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You have nothing to apologize for. Life within you, even if quiet, is still flowing. The only thing you need to do is not turn away from it. Living honestly with your emotions, your desires, and your body does not make you weaker. It brings you back to yourself. In the final part, I will help you understand how to keep this habit as a healthy, natural, and dignified part of your life, so that you can move through your 60s, 70s, and even 80s with strength, calm, and vitality. So in the end, is masturbation after 60 good or not? My answer is always this: it is not about good or bad. It is about how you do it and why you do it. If you understand your body, know your limits, and see it as a natural part of health, then it can absolutely bring benefits from blood circulation and sleep to hormones, emotions, and confidence. But if you use it to cover loneliness, to numb your feelings, or to fill an empty space inside, then over time it will drain you rather than relax you. Please remember that desire is not shameful. It is the flame of life. It is a sign that your heart, your blood vessels, and your spirit are still working. The important thing is learning how to tend that flame, not letting it flare into the fire of isolation, but allowing it to warm your life. Start with the simplest step: understand and listen to your body. If you feel tired, cannot sleep, or notice anything unusual, do not hesitate to speak with a doctor. Treat sexual health the same way you would treat your heart health, your blood pressure, or your sleep, because they are all parts of your overall well-being. More importantly, do not let shame steal your joy. You can still be close, you can still love, or simply reconnect with yourself at 60, 70, or 80. Intimacy has no age, and the will to live never goes out of style. I have always believed that men do not lose their strength with time. They simply forget how to touch it. If you are watching this today, perhaps you are ready to remember, ready to treat your body with respect, understanding, and a little gentleness. If you found these reflections helpful, please like the video and subscribe to Men Over 60 Vitality, where we learn to live stronger, deeper, and happier after 60. Before we finish, I want to leave you with this: age does not define you. The way you live, love, and understand your body is what defines who you are. Continue that journey with self-respect, with gratitude, and with a heart that still wants to love this life. I am Dr. Laura Bennett, and I will see you in the next video. Stay healthy, keep your faith, and remember, this age does not define you, your habits do. Stay strong, stay vital.